Hello people of Earth, it's your pal the Orbital Outcast, Rad Gnarly, coming your way with another low-key broadcast. Today we've got a huge world title match headlining a GWA show in Fire Pro Wrestling World, but first I'd like to say hello to everyone in chatter. Checking us out on VOD, no matter where or when you happen to be in our great big old world of ours, we are happy to have you with us. After some consideration there on my part, and we hope the day finds you well. You know, more or less, overall. I don't wish any specific harm on anyone. Nor harm in general, I should say, but all right. Enough goofing off. Let's get to the management role here of the... Geez, it's not penultimate because it's not the second to last. I don't know any other iterations beyond that. If pen is before, it's not like tri-ultimate. Swap-a-da-ba. It's not the quadrultimate, perhaps. I mean, it's the September show, as you can see. We have the Trios Tournament of Terror next week, and then the final two cards. We only got 4 weeks, including this one, till we are done with the GWA. Oh, if I could, I would, Kate. That's an excellent suggestion, and nice to see you, by the way. Hope you're having a good night. If I could pay Mr. Bigfoot more, I would. Unfortunately, I can only adjust the salary of my contracted employees, like my in-ring talent that aren't the referee. He should let's just headcanon that he's making like some of the sponsor money like is just entirely his paycheck. Like he's making, you know, he's making a good 15-20 grand a week, a month, just like everybody else. Or much of my top paid stars are between like 15 and 30, somewhere in there. He's probably doing all right for himself. Speaking of, I should probably see if there's any. Oh, good. I must have taken care of this already. So there's no salary asks. Don't need any advice. Hang on one second. There was somebody, or might be a few somebodies. There, Ahmed Johnson for sure. Already did. Okay, so I got to make sure to change Ahmed or update Ahmed's salary every month. Hang on. Just making a note for myself. Bump Ahmed's pay every. I got to get him up to. Hopefully, I can do this and get him up to the $6 grand, which is sort of our benchmark now, before we run out of shows, because we are winding down here. But I want to at least get people up to that $6 grand. I like Jungle Boy here. There you go, bud. That's our new threshold. Enjoy. Anybody else below? Oh, Kylie, right? There you go. It was 5. We've bumped it up to 6 because we're going for broke. Oh, Stan Hansen's new to us. There we go. Should only be one more bump to Stan. Okay, good thing I'm doing this. Bill Bullock. The OG Bill Bullock. I could either put you just below, or you know what, buddy? For you, medium bump. There you go, Pally. We'll do this before we book anybody. Maybe it'll in, Jeez, I didn't know I had so many under. I mean, the standard looks to have been 5, but we're just throwing it up to 6. Okay, yeah, we have a lot of people that are well above it anyway. There you go, everybody. You've all earned this little bump in salary as we slowly wind down our time here. We can pay a little better on the way out. Ooh, I got a lot of people hoiting for certain. Okay, down into the stables, which means we're at the bottom of the roster at least. There we go. I think we took care of all the ones we can for the moment. Oh dear. Okay, so we're definitely giving Luna the month off. Okay, everybody else looking good, getting paid. Good stuff. Hey, Rocco, what's going on, buddy? Sad to hear you can't join us tomorrow night, but we'll throw some lights. Personally, I'll throw some lights and fencing up in your honor. How's that? Okay, Kyle O'Reilly was the last person to get the boost. Yeah, all right. So we just have a couple of people to take care of. We can do most of them next month, and then Ahmed, I think, might take 2. But we'll get there. We'll get there. Everyone gets that pay bump before the big Trios Tournament of Terror, right? So more incentive before they risk their lives in that dastardly tournament. Okay, so we have a show to book. Let me go ahead and save that now that we've committed that amount of money. We have a show to book. Let me tab over and show you my... Well, I have some title matches in mind. We're going to try to put as many belts on the line until the end of this run as we can. But I also have a personal cutoff with how many, like, you know, friends, they're still friends that we want to, like, invite amongst our roster members, because any more than like 3 people and you got a pretty good chance that like they stop, that they just don't show up for the job that you booked them to do. I'm not saying job as in like they're guaranteed to lose. I just mean like they don't seem to want to show up for the match you booked. So I'm trying to limit that to like 3 or less. So we might put, or we're definitely going to be putting like the Noah and DDT belts on the line, but probably not against Noah or DDT talent. We have like Hall of Fame talent up and down the GWA roster, and we're probably like, we played nice for 9 years, 8 months. For the last 4 months, I mean, even one where no other belt is going to be on the line but the trios title. Whatever belts are in our Fed, we're just going to defend them amongst ourselves until the end, until we run out of stuff. Whatever happens, happens. Like we did our best to get all the Wayward Championships back where they belong, and we did a pretty good job. But from here on out, we're going gangbusters, trying to draw a crowd and have some good title matches. So with all that said, we have that big GWA World Title match to book. Okada Angle that they'd earned. Adam Page has earned a Hall of Fame Championship match, so it's going to be Hangman versus Ahmed Johnson. Becky Lynch earned a Legends Junior title match last time around, so they'll be facing Kyle O'Reilly in a battle of the arm bars at some point today. So we have a few things that we already have on the go. We have a couple of friends in already. Shane Taylor's in from Ring of Honor. Larry D is in from Impact Wrestling. I'm going to put them against each other. I think that's pretty much it. Like, unless I decide to, and let me check my list of Wayward Champions. Way up here. Yeah, let me share. Boop. There we go. So if we bring in Will Ospreay to defend the Ring of Honor Junior Championship, we also have to bring in his opponent. So that's 2 people there. And like I said, Brett and Misawa. Brett's got the DDT Championship. Misawa's got the Noah Championship. They've kind of, proven that they're going to be hanging. I mean, Brett for sure, more than Misawa, has proven that I think he's going to be hanging onto that belt for long, unless he's challenged by somebody on our roster. And I mean, I know just the guy to do it, the guy who's been trying to ruin Brett's entire GWA career this entire time. So just right off the top of my head, we're going to do Brett Shawn Michaels for the DDT belt sometime today. So that sounds like a good way to go there. Bringing in a bunch of people to work the Impact Trios belts would be, at minimum, just bringing in Eddie Edwards to complete the trio itself. Or if we wanted to actually try to get back to Impact, that's a minimum 4 people we'd have to add to the match. Like, I'm just trying, 4 people we'd have to book from Impact. So that's like half a dozen on this show. That's too much room for people to disappoint us. I'm saying I would want to keep it 3. Oh, sorry, I tend to scroll that sometimes when I'm bored, just to give myself something strange to look at while my mind is racing. Yeah, I kind of want to top out at 3, but I'm willing to risk it for, I guess, a Will Ospreay match, and then we'll have to find somebody worthy, on Ring of Honor here. There, at least, like, everybody's friendly. The New Japan part is a bit of a risk because Will's going to have to come from Japan, so I don't know if that actually plays into whatever mechanics in the game determine whether or not they decide to show up for work. But we're going to risk it and book a Ring of Honor Junior Championship match to try to get that back to Ring of Honor. And the DDT Championship and the Noah Championship we will defend amongst the GWA roster itself. Okay, sounds great. Wait a minute, can I do fancy transitions with this too? You gotta be kidding me. This is fantastic. All this stuff's just built into OBS. Hiya! Look at that. I can fade it out. Let me fade it back in. Oh, what did it do? Fades back in. Here's the one that I like for getting rid of my camera and stuff. I think I'm gonna do this right. I hope so. Away it goes. Okay, so if I show that, slide that to the left. Hiya! There we go. Hiya! Watch out. Okay. Yeah, Russell Thursdays. What's going on, Felly? Hope you're having a good night. Nice to see you. Yeah, we're kind of mulling over what we're going to be booking. Let me just start piecing stuff together. Book events. I don't think I need to. Oh, I need to invite Will Ospreay if they want to put their belt on the line. So, Will Ospreay, would you like to come work for us? It's going to cost me a pretty penny. Wow, look at you, loaded up with the hardware. What do you say? 60 grand? All right. Okay, we got Will, so let's save that quick. And we are going to try to bring in somebody from Ring of Honor, because Will Ospreay has the Ring of Honor Junior Championship, so we're going to try to find somebody to take that off his hands. Unfortunately, can't be Brody King. He's way too beefy for that. Well, in our world, actually, I think AEW, if you look down the line, it's an outdated roster, don't get me wrong, but they're doing okay. Unless the name is like, oh, they have one injury. Only Priscilla Kelly, who doesn't even work for them anymore, is currently injured. So my fantasy version of AEW is doing just fine. Unfortunately, the real one has a good 20 injuries. Okay, so Chain Taylor's already here. We already have them booked. If we can get somebody else here with them. Ray Horace? Yeah, sure. PCO is also too big. Let's see. Mandy Leone would be interesting. Flip Gordon, Jay Lethal, Eli Isom. We only have a handful, huh? I'm gonna go Ray Horace, all right? We're gonna go Ray Horace, Will Ospreay, and hope for the best. Hope for the best. Ray, there we go. Okay. So let me scroll down my GWA text file here and pencil in that matchup. Boink. So Ray Horace versus Will Ospreay for the Ring of Honor Junior Championship. Going to be an hour show, and the rest of it is going to be our roster members or people that have already committed to showing up with us. So let me just save real quick and go to the event screen. Now we can book this sucker, and then after we book it, we'll go back and determine how much merchandise we need to make, and then we're going to cross our little fingers, and we got 3 strikes, or I guess the talent has 3 strikes to show up for the show that we book. So here we go. And then next week, the big Trios Tournament of Terror. Trios Tournament of Terror 5? Maybe 6? 5 or 6. I'll have to double check that, but the final Trios Tournament of Terror 666. Anyway, standard event, normal stuff going on. Yeah, the barbed wire everywhere match, I thought it was decent. It was a little contrite, like the spot at the end where they just, well, they haven't happened to have used this padding by the entrance ramp yet, and then they just used it at the conclusion of the matchup. I mean, that was a little like, okay, they're just, all right, they're just tacking it on just because they wanted to do it and couldn't somehow shoehorn it into the whole whatever they were doing. But overall, it was fine. The wrong person won, but, you know, they'll probably try one more match out of it. I think this has to go last man standing or like an I quit. I think that's the only other way to do it. Like a real definitive win, because Eddie's knocked out Jericho in a normal setting, or did he get him to tap to the stretch plum? Either or. He beat him once. Jericho got this victory with a really silly barbed wire back elbow, and then the rubber match has got to be like a last man or an I quit or something, and then they can finally put this to bed. He kind of like didn't no sell the Judas effect. He kind of they did like some weird reversal spot that didn't work. Like they got their timing confused on, and then they just quickly like improvised getting back into the Judas effect again. But no, he stayed down afterwards, from what I remember. I don't remember him popping back up. Okay, so main event, title match. Kurt Angle, our beloved champion. Oh, we're back in America, huh? Yeah, back in America in the 40,000 seat arena. We'll see how we do. $20 ahead. That's kind of our threshold. Okay, so from our rankings. Oh, Hayabusa's still out, huh? Yeah, one more month. Oh, they can return just in time for the tournament. Might put him out injured again, but they can return just in time for the tournament. It is Okada's last chance. He's cashing in his title opportunity from winning last year's Trios Tournament of Terror. This time, all 3 of the Squared Circle K members that were part of the winning trios kind of saving their title shots for the last moments. So Keith Lee had cashed in to get a Hall of Fame championship match against Ahmed Johnson, was unfortunately unsuccessful. Kairi Sane cashed in her title shot, and there you can see she was successful, as she's the current GWA Junior Heavyweight Champion. And Okada tonight, cashing in his shot, trying to win back the most prestigious belt in all of the wrestling landscape as far as this fictional universe is concerned. the GWA World Heavyweight title, but he's got to beat Kurt Angle to do it. So that's going to be one of our title matches. I'm trying to think here. I think I have like 6 that I can do if I do this right. So Hall of Fame. I'm just going to try to see if I can sort of do this every other match type of thing. Hall of Fame Championship. Champion Ahmed Johnson against Hangman Adam Page, who earned a title shot, winning a contenders match earlier on. There we go, cashing his shot in. Oh, the barbed wire bed at the end, I don't think it was rubber wire, because you could see he slashed up the inside of his tights a bit, I think, just from that bump alone. I didn't notice it before then, certainly. But that could just be me. No, I don't think any of it was like dulled or anything like that. I think they just prepared themselves and did a, fairly conservative barbed wire everywhere. Like barbed wire in a lot of fun spots, but they were also smart to not have barbed wire on the hard cam side, so that at least the audience at home especially would have a better view of everything going on. Anyway, let's try another title match after the Hall of Fame one. So like I said, we were going to do the DDT Championship, which Bret Hart has, against his eternal rival and leader of the Heartbreakers. Like literally named his stable in honor of like his entire modus operandi for being here in the GWA, which is to ruin Bret Hart's good time. So Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart for the DDT Championship. We're going to put that on. We're going to do another title match here. What do we got? The Noah Championship, Misawa. I was just thinking, who would it be fun to see Misawa face? You know who's been having a heck of a run here in the GWA as well? We're going to go Mitsuharu Misawa versus Stan Hansen for the Noah Heavyweight Championship. So that's technically the GHC Heavyweight Championship. What else can we do here? We have another one here. Another title match. Kyle O'Reilly, the Legends Junior title. Like we said, Becky Lynch had earned a shot at that. So Becky Lynch versus Kyle O'Reilly. Ooh, got a bit of a weak neck, does Becky Lynch coming into this one. That might come into play. And the Will Ospreay match that we booked too, I think. Yeah, the Will Ospreay match that we haven't put up yet. Here we go. Okay, so there we also have... Where do we want to put Will? Let's put Will in the middle here. Another title match. Will Ospreay with the Ring of Honor Junior belt. Man, look at that. He's also got the IWGP belt, but we're not going to challenge for that at all. So the IWGP champion putting another one of his titles on the line against, from Ring of Honor, Ray Horace. Oh, look at that. Look at your fun costumes. Oh, I like number 3. Ooh, that's kind of fun and venomous, like, it looks like poisony, but I like this one. We're gonna go costume 3. What can I do with Will here? Oh, that's fun. I can set the costumes afterwards. Whoa, that must be an outdated look, but it's lots of fun, so let's go with that. Okay, Brett, I can also customize some stuff here. Let's do your... I just watched this pay-per-view not long ago. There we go. Let's see your Survivor Series 96 attire. Everybody's showing out for their title matches here. He's got his default. He'll look fine. So does he. Yeah. So that is like 6 title matches. Oh, we have a singles match that I wanted to do between our 2 friends. Like, they both happened to show up, so we wanted to book Larry D from Impact. I mean, we didn't want to, but we're going to book Larry D from Impact whilst they're here. We're going to go, I guess, default hairstyle with gauntlets. And then we're going to put them against, from Ring of Honor, Shane Taylor, who you may remember from GWA Generation 1, making a name for himself with that huge singles victory over Brock Lesnar, etc., etc. Ooh, we're already at 32. I mean, we're at about 33,000. I was going to say we're already there, but we booked a lot of title matches. How many more matches do we have at all? 1, 2, 3. So we got 3 more spots to fill. Okay, so we don't have anything really else to build for except for the Trios Championship. I was already thinking perhaps this year less stables. Like, I've been trying to slowly put less like stables into the annual trios tournament, and more to sort of put together teams because they don't get that many opportunities. So let's put a trios match right here between two of the stables in the GWA, and the losing team definitely doesn't get into the Tournament of Terror next week. So we'll at least book one of those, if not two, because we have a couple more matches to fill. And then maybe we'll put like we have a lot of singles matches. This is a pretty singles heavy card, so I might do like another trios and maybe a tag right here, and then like I said, the trios with, I guess, the more, well, we have like heavyweight main event talent in every stable, so yeah, it doesn't really matter. They're just getting this spot as a bit of a cool off before the world title main event. Okay, so we've used our we booked our guests. Yeah, we're gonna go, if Heat Business doesn't win, they lose the right to participate whatsoever. Bison Smith and Vashon coming off that huge tag team win. Vashon is hurt to heck, but everybody else is fine. So I could go Black Moon Heat Business, because they did have a bit of a rivalry from, or a bit of an issue from last time around. Sting's a former world champion. That works. Circle K have to be in it. You know what? I can do Heartbreakers versus this as well, and that will get us down to 3 guaranteed in the tournament, and that's it. Yeah, all right. I'm comfortable with that. Okay, so on this side of things, Luna's sitting out. Kevin Blackett will start off. We'll have Bison Smith next up, one half of our tag team champions with Luna Vachon. She'll take the month off though. And then, oh my God, it's Sting! I don't have anything for him to jump off of. Maybe the long entrance wrap, depending where we book this. So there we go. We got Sting's Black Moon Fight Club squad going to be taking on the Heat Business. We'll have Regal started out. We'll have Bobby Lashley back him up. And then we'll have the leader of the Heat Business, Eddie Guerrero, rounding out the team there. We've sold the place out. Got a full house of 40,000 strong. I'm going to try the arena. I don't think we're going to fill it out, but we got 2 more matches. Let's see. So now here in the earlier spot, yeah, let's put it midway through. So midway through, we're going to put the other trios match with a lot on the lines, because the losing trio, their stable gets no representation in the forthcoming tournament. So that's a big Heartbreakers move again. Okay. So we'll have Flamita start things out. Wearing your nice camo. We'll have Scott Hall, who conveniently labeled his tights for us. Oh, yep, there's the faction he used to be in. There's his name on him. And then we'll have Abyss in my favorite outfit for Abyss, at least at this time period. The reformed, I don't want to be violent anymore, but I'm still a giant monster, sort of impatient Abyss. Team Blank, because I guess Flamita doesn't have a first or last name, or however they count it. Okay, so that's the Heartbreakers. They're going to be taken on... Can't be the Squared Circle K, they have to be there. So they're going to be taking on the House of Misery, who have also had an issue for a long time with Bret Hart and friends. So for them to, I guess an enemy of my enemy is also my enemy in this case. So they want to be the ones to put the screws to Bret should he get a team into the tournament. But anyway, so Raven Taz and Mike Awesome is going to be the other threesome here. This is going to be a bit of an uphill battle, I think. Not for the House of Misery, for the other squad. Mike Awesome in his traditional gladiator gear. I mean, the gladiator Mike Awesome, not that he's like Spartacus. And let's see if we can't... Yeah, it's unfortunate that they saved the Sandman t-shirt, like the Neil Gaiman Sandman t-shirt, for the attire that has the dedicated ring jacket. I do like that he also has it looks like a flannel plaid shirt tied around his waist, because the 90s. But let's go here. That's his like ECW heavyweight champion t-shirt. Bit of historic Raven merch. All right, we got to 51,223. We're not going to get higher, I don't think. All right, and then for the final match, actually I haven't even written these in. The final match, that will be... Let's try to find some popular heels. Straight from just the heel pool. Okay, we did a bunch of, we're doing a bunch of factional stuff. Where are we putting out this show? Bill Bullock's really popular in America. Seth Rollins is over the moon right now in America. Okay, Bill Bullock and Seth Rollins is too weird of a team for me, but I'll definitely go Seth Rollins. And, I mean, is it too obvious to team him up with Jon Moxley? Yes, it is. Let's put him in there with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, who does not trust me that much, but he keeps wanting opportunities. So let's put him in a high-profile tag match here. So Rollins and Owens. Rollins and Owens. Rollins and Owens, not Rollins and Owens. From our heel side. Then from the baby faces, Brooklyn Brawler Brandon Walker, or Braden Walker, excuse me. I did notice at one point Eddie Kingston like kind of shoving Aubrey's face and head out of the way so he didn't accidentally like kick her as he was trying to storm past her to do something during the match. I did notice that. Kobashi. You know what? The Fire Within hasn't teamed up in a little bit. Let's put Yohei and Kenta Kobashi back in the ring together. There we go. So Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens versus Yohei and Kenta Kobashi. Didn't quite make it. Let me see if I can... Yohei, I'm sorry, buddy. Maybe I can find somebody a little more popular. Not that Kenta is. Yeah, Kobashi's only a C. But if I can get somebody... Oh, you know what? Ooh. What a contrast. I was going to say Dawkins is a B. What's Montez at? A D. That's crazy. He usually wins their matches for them. All right, I'm going to put him against the Street Profits and see if that puts me over the top. No, not Ford and Kobashi. Ford and Dawkins, who's the most popular out of all of those. Ooh, so close. Just under 63,000 out of 65. $20 ahead. I'm kind of cool with that. I'm kind of cool with leaving things as is. So that's a kind of a test run. Rollins and Owens against a former multi-time champion, or multi-time champion, Street Profits. Okay, Ford, Dawkins versus Rollins, Owens. All right, I have to adjust my text file quickly because they are not in the proper order in front of me. So we are starting off with Larry D, Shane Taylor. Okay, I have Larry D in the face spot, but that doesn't really matter. They're just visiting. So that's just kind of a free singles match we're throwing in there. And then following that, we got Becky Lynch, Kyle O'Reilly. You know what? Before I put this card to bed, let me see if I rearrange a little bit, if I can get the attendance up. If I put, like, for instance, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels a little higher than they are at the 6th spot. Let's just see. Yep, that's more people. That's less people. That's interesting. More people are interested in Michaels, Ahmed Johnson, and Adam Page, Bret Hart than they are the other way around. Okay, but if I put, oops, you guys here, and there. Still 63904. Okay, so that doesn't make any difference. What about these guys? Again, Ahmed Johnson against different people than who he's normally scheduled against is doing great. So that's going to stay. This doesn't make a difference. Oh, hang on. That's a higher number. Okay, so we went boom, boom, boom title match. But if we do boom, boom, boom our own title match, it's the same. So let's at least concentrate on our belts. So we'll have a bing, bang, boom triple main events. We'll have our 6-person match here coming out of the break, because the way I book things internally is matches 1 to 5, and then we'd have an intermission, and then matches 6 to 10 if you were there seeing this live. So okay, I was going to say, how popular is Ospreay versus other champions? Also, how popular are other champions versus... Okay. I think we're going to maybe... Let's see, hang on. I mean, it all stays the same. So we start singles, we do a thrown together tag, then we have a Legends Junior title match. we go to one of our two sort of trios eliminator matches for the upcoming tournament next week. Then we go Stan Hansen Masawa going into break for the GHC Championship. We come back from break with Will Ospreay defending the Ring of Honor Junior Championship against Ray Horace. Then we do the other Eliminator Trios match, the Black Moon Fight Club versus the Heat Business. And then we do our triple main event, starting with the Hall of Fame Championship, Ahmed Johnson against Hangman Adam Page. The DDT belt on the line, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, the Eternal Rivalry, renewed once more. And then in our huge main event for the world title, Angle Okada. Now I'm going to do something real quick, and I hope the results aren't okay good. It's indifferent. I was going to say, I hope that putting another belt other than the GWA title in the main event doesn't make for more fans in the stands. It's just, it definitely increases if it's not Okada. Yep. Anybody but Okada, it seems. Hang on, how about Ray Horace? Oh, about broke even. More or less. Slightly less. Want to see Ray Horace. That's all right, that's all right. Okada earned this championship. 63,000 out of 65 is fine, because again, we're getting $20 ahead. So we should be all right there. So let me fill out my text files for this all matches. Larry D. Shane Taylor. Then we got Ford and Dawkins versus Rollins and Owens. Becky Lynch, Kyle O'Reilly for the Legends Junior belts. Team Flamita here. Hang on one second. So Team Flamita is going to be Flamita, Abyss, and Scott Hall versus Raven, Taz, and Awesome. Yeah, okay. And then we have Stan Hansen Masawa for the GHC title going into break, coming out of break. Ospreay Horace, and then we have Regal, Lashley, and Eddie on this side of it, not on the other side. Versus, so that's Sting, that's Kevin Blackwood, and that's Bison versus Regal, Lashley, and Eddie for entry into the tournament. And then we have our triple main events of starting with Adam Page and Michael. Okay. Got it all sorted. All right. Text file updated. Ready to roll. Oh, I have a note here that I need to send, or I should send Emi Sakura to NXT, because we had somebody in from NXT and they beat Emi Sakura, so we'll send her on a bit of a revenge tour. Match styles and rules, I think, are all fine, but it never hurts to double check real quick. Let me just sort of take in the entire screen at once and see if there's any changes that I can sort of see at broad. Nope. Kind of had to like my focus a little bit just so I could see the whole screen. All right, so we're all good there. We almost sold the place out. We're just going to keep running the biggest arena in America until until the wheels fall off, because like I said, we're winding down our last year. We lost our biggest sponsorship deals, so we're just kind of getting the monies where we can. Had to put a pause on our international expansion, but we also put in like 9 solid years of shows. Literally over a calendar year's worth of shows if you wanted to watch one a week. Okay, so we're confirming this match card, and we are saving immediately. So we have 4 people in from other promotions. That worries me a little bit, but 2 of them volunteered to be here. The other 2 we hired. I hope they show up for work. That's all I can hope for. We are loaning, if they'll have them, to NXT. We are loaning them Emi Sakura. No thanks. How about Brody Lee instead? All right, so we sent Brody Lee and, let's say Kobashi to NXT. Sure. All right, I guess we're loading up on NXT then. Let's leave Jungle Boy alone. Let's put Kylie out there. No interest in the ladies so far. How about Mike Bailey? Oh, no, we'll leave him alone. Anybody that's like perfectly fine to wrestle, we'll get him out there. Okay, looks like we're overloading NXT. just because. Yohei didn't get booked, so I'll try. All right. Bill Bullock, former junior heavyweight champion, can't get booked on the next show. Out they go to NXT. If anybody wants to come back with the belt, you know what? That's fine by me now. Take all the belts. Okay. Looking at you, Punk. Sometimes you come back with somebody's championship. Takahashi. Like I said, we are overloading one other promotion per month on the way out. Like, we're just gonna overload with our talent, and I'm pretty sure they, like, generally speaking, go over on all the local people. Like, they're just making us look better, basically. Okay. Kenny Omega, they're like, sure. Luna's hurt. How's Chris feeling? You guys are... I'm gonna rest this entire stable because they are... all 3 of the 4 of them have that... Well, you don't. The other 3 have that tournament coming up, so... we'll at least lend out Chris Statlander. Hobbs? Yeah. Oh, no, you're hurting. Deeb's hurting. Suzuki's okay. Okay, anybody else? Whee. Nope, that's it. All right. Not bad. Okay. Save that. Now to make some merchandise on the way out. So we got 65,000-ish peeps there. So let's do a huge order. And then we might not have to do one again. So 20,000 t-shirts, 20,000 towels. We'll leave the photos alone. We're going to do 10,000 DVDs. We're going to leave these alone. We're going to do, believe me, this is a huge order for masks. We're doing 3,000 masks. I'm going to dispose of these goods because they sell well and we only have 860 of them there. We're going to do 10,000 instead. And then the branded snacks, we're also going to do 10,000 of those. So a huge merchandise order. We're going gangbusters here. We're going for broke. I'm expecting to have a lot or some of this left, a bit of this, and probably about half of these masks. Everything else I'm hoping will just fly off the shelves. Okay, so a big, expensive show, but we got 60 million in the bank. We should be okay. So long as everybody shows up for work. Okay, heavy sigh. This is our first chance. Generally speaking, we allow 3 strikes, and then we just have to play the card as it lay. Now, this can potentially cancel 2 matches off of our show, because we have a singles confrontation opening us up that features Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling talent that volunteered to join us, and then a championship match later in the night between Will Ospreay and Ray Horus, again representing Ring of Honor and New Japan Pro Wrestling, not respectively, opposite, disrespectively, I guess. So we'll see if all 4 of them decide to show up for work. Sometimes this can be a little tricksy. So here we go. Here we go. September awaits. Larry D wanted to be here. Shane Taylor also volunteered to be here. So the opening match, both people said nah, which sucks because it doesn't matter if one or both say no. Actually, it does matter. Like if one says no, a certain percentage of your audience disappears. If 2 people say no, even if it only cancels the same match that's already canceled, another certain percentage is like, well, I'm not going to see this person either, then I'm not showing. But if either of those 2 had said I'm not showing up and the other was still backstage but we couldn't run the match, we'd still get all their fans showing up. So it's kind of weird. All right, so that was strike 1. 2 more cracks at it. 2 more opportunities. Okay, thank you so much for the bits. Purchasing your ticket once again. That's hilarious. Thank you so much. Here, have a little tambourine celebration for you. Thank you for the little biddly boops. Okay, here we go. We are proceeding. Everybody cross their fingers at home. I got mine crossed here as I press the button with my crossed fingers. Please show up for work. Shane Taylor again. Canceling. Just the one person canceling, though. So last time, both of the openers canceled, and we had 40,000 people in the stands. This time, only one person said no, and we have about 50,000 in the stands. Still perfectly respectable, and I could run this card. But that's not how we do things. That's strike 2. One more strike. We got to play it how this lays. I mean, it's still my game, and I can do what I want. But generally speaking, 3 strikes, and we play it how it happens after this 3rd strike. Kate demands an immediate refund. Card subject to change, Kate. Says that on every poster. Card subject to change. We're doing our best to solve these travel issues to get the entire card in front of you. But card subject to change. Buyer beware. Caveat emptor, Kate. Buyer beware. Okay. Strike 3. Or at least let's not frame it that way. It's not strike 3. It's the 3rd chance. All right. We have 2 strikes. That was the distant past. Now this is it. I am the manager. No, unfortunately, there is no one above me. I am fully in charge of the GWA and everything that happens in this promotion. Except for when our guest talent does or doesn't show up. Here we go. Oh, Will Ospreay, you son of a gun! So now we have the opening match, but we don't have Will Ospreay's championship match. Let's see how this affected attendance. I'm gonna go one more, because it's my show. How dare they do this to me? Right? How dare they do this to me? Is it because I put you in your silliest outfit? Okay, one more chance. Normally we don't do this, or actually we have about a 50-50 average of actually doing this. Generally speaking, we sometimes do this, sometimes don't. Okay. I'm just gonna I'm not even gonna build it up. It's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen. We're just gonna be at the September event. I'm just gonna look at the the projected attendance, and we're gonna flip over here, and we have 10 matches, and yeah. There you go. Everyone's here. Save that. Save it. Save it. Save it. Okay. Everybody showed up. Everybody showed up. All right, we have the card as booked. Phew, I don't have to issue Kate a refund. She's amongst the 63,000 strong here. Okay. And Larry D and Shane Taylor are going to show you what they got. Representatives of Impact Wrestling in Larry D and Ring of Honor Wrestling in Shane Taylor in our first matchup, as we present a stacked card. How many championships do we have online? Did we end up with 6? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4. We got half a dozen championships on the line, including 4 in the second half of the show. That's wild. All right, before we get to all of that, Larry D, Shane Taylor, 2 big beefy fellers, just gonna whale on each other under the watchful eye of one Monsignor Abigafoot. Let's get down to that ringy ding ding dong. Make sure this happens. Oh, he remembered it. We got him through there. You don't sign a deal to come show up to the GWA and then not show up for work. That's rude. Took a couple tries, but we got him. Shoved him through that forbidden door. Locked it behind them so they couldn't get out. So they're on the show tonight. Larry D representing Impact Wrestling in the long blue tights. Shane Taylor here from Ring of Honor in the black, white, and teal singlet. Shane Taylor, you may remember from the first generation of the GWA, establishing themselves as a singles phenom with a huge victory over none other than Brock Lesnar. Oh, funny. Yeah, I think he actually has his hidden blade as well, because there's a fair number of custom moves in his moveset, I noticed. We shall see if that's what he uses to finish off Ray Horus later tonight. One of 6 championships on the line here. The longest tenured and most reliable referee in the business, Mr. Bigfoot. has been here since show number 1. I'm pretty sure we lucked out immediately, and he was selection amongst the created referees. Or I may have just sort of made sure of that, because every time you go to the book event screen, it gives you 3 random choices from the custom referee selection, and I don't know if we got on first try, or perhaps I gamed that a little bit to make sure that Mr. Bigfoot has been with us from the jump. Let's just do the math. I think we've skipped 2 or 3. I think it might just be 2, where there's been 2 months where we did not put on shows. Other than that, it's been 9 years, and this will be 9 months. So let's go 9 years, 7 months if we skipped 2 of them. So 9 by 12 is, of course, 108. And 9, so 117 months. That's 117 shows that Mr. Bigfoot has refereed for us here in the GWA, if I did that correctly. Mr. Bigfoot always in prime position to see when a rope break is warranted. Something about the size and structure of the GWA ring that can be confusing to some people. The talent especially. They're not especially used to it, and there's no way that these two would be.
1, 2.
Larry D, pretty confident on that cover, getting a solid 2 count. This, I guess, would be sort of a dark match before a live pay-per-view, or something that we would air on the pre-show. Hang on. Oh, big double-handed Baldo bomb into the sit-out. 2 count there for Shane Taylor, leader of Shane Taylor Enterprises in Ring of Honor. Oh, there's people in wrestling organizations that stay at a certain level and are happy there. He's been our senior official for this whole time, and he's pretty well compensated. Nice big Vader attack there by Larry D, using his size to his advantage. Running power slam, hooks the leg, almost put Shane Taylor down. Oh, and then just a stiff right hand into the cover. 1, 2. Larry D almost takes it home once again. Shane Taylor's got a bit of a mountain to climb here to try to get back into this one. Stomping away, see a slam there. Trying to catch his breath between these moves is Shane Taylor. Just want to surrender the offensive momentum if he can help it. Larry D getting a bit of a breather himself at the 10-minute mark here. Taylor looking for that big knockout shot. Hang on! What's good for the goose is good for the gander! And that, oh no! Shane Taylor rolls the shoulder. I thought that was it. Too close to the ropes on this power slam pin attempt. But that 2-handed bomb from both men almost scored the victory for each. I like to think of Mr. Bigfoot as potentially more of like a Teen Wolf situation. That is just like a regular person that wanted to be a pro wrestling ref and nobody took him seriously, but then all of a sudden he turned out to be a Bigfoot. Hang on, Shane Taylor! Turning Larry D inside out with that clothesline. The solid 2 count. Anyway, turned out to be a Bigfoot, and then it shot into the top of the line using his extra Bigfoot powers, because you're not gonna intimidate a referee if it's a Sasquatch. You know what I'm saying? His word is law. Oh! Oh! And now a stiff shot from Shane Taylor, taking a page from Larry D's book. I think we're seeing the beginning of a blood feud between these two. What an Uncle Slam that was. Oh, and then another stiff shot from Taylor, trying to catch his breath. Working Larry D into the center of the ring is Ring of Honor's Shane Taylor, trying to represent his company, soon to relaunch, starting this Saturday's In Real Life pay-per-view. Check your local listings. Death Before Dishonor this Saturday night at 8, I'm assuming. Larry D sending Shane Taylor off the ropes, drops him with a huge clothesline, sets him up but gets countered, looking for that half and half suplex or perhaps the Uncle Slam. There's again the double choke bomb, pin attempt, and no! Larry D out again at 2. Absolutely. You cannot intimidate the likes of a Bigfoot. Unless you're like Mr. Henderson when he was mean to him at the start. Oh! Turned inside out once again. Shane Taylor covers! No! What a war between these two in your opening contest, and neither of them even work here. I don't know if they know that we don't have any vacancies in our roster. We have no room. But putting on a heck of a show for the GWA faithful here. Happy to have you strolling down the gnarly wrestling aisle with us tonight. Over the shoulder pile driver does the deal. Shane Taylor with the victory. I believe that's his tailor-made. I believe that's what he calls that. We'll see if it pops up here in our results screen. Ha-ha! The over-the-shoulder pile driver there. The tailor-made spelling victory for Shane Taylor and a 5-star opening contest. And away we go from there. Follow that, say the two employees of two different companies, neither of which are the GWA. Gauntlet thrown. Okay. Good gracious. Now, you'll see the number that's like 63,461. That's the number now. I've noticed, I mean, I've only noticed this when it's not been a sellout, because if it's a sellout, it just says, yeah, max capacity or whatever, or just, you know, like you don't see the extra numbers. But I have noticed that as every show has worn on, if I don't fill the place out, people leave by the main event. Like, I already have their money. They already paid, but I don't know why they tell you that people leave. Like, that just distresses me. Anyway, we'll see if we can keep all 63,000 here as we head toward our next matchup. Some straight up GWA competition. Former multiple time, I'm going to say 3-time GWA tag team champions Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits, are taking on a hodgepodge, a newly minted team, trying to see if they can get something going in the tag team division. They have a heck of a task ahead of them right out of the gate. It's Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens against Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. So it's the Street Profits versus whatever you want to call Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. Oof, the Monday Night Prizefighters. I don't know, that's Thursday. That doesn't help them. All right, let's get down to the ring for this one. Let me get myself out of the way. Hooah! As we turn control over to the senior official here, Mr. Bigfoot, calling for the bell, and we are underway in front of almost 65,000 strong here. Happy to have you among us. Rollins there with an early pin attempt, just trying to test the cardiovascular conditioning of his opponent there. No real threat at that point, one would think, as we are still in the opening minute of this one. There you see Rollins' partner for the evening, Kevin Owens, in his Raw is Owens t-shirt. Color matching the black and red of Seth Rollins' long tights versus the purple and red of a Montez Ford, and also an Angelo Dawkins, as we see Dawkins and Owens tagged in for the first time. The two power halves of their tag teams tagged in for the first time in this one. And we see Angelo Dawkins going to work, trying to position Owens just so. Generally speaking, you try to inflict the damage to your opponent in your half of the ring. Nice DDT there by Owens, as you can see Owens trying to keep Dawkins toward that red corner. Dawkins, in turn, trying to lure Kevin Owens to his side of the ring. A lot easier to score a victory in a tag team or any other sort of team match here in the GWA if your opponents have to travel more than halfway across the ring in order to attempt to break up a pin that allows your teammates ample time and space to get into a defensive position well before that breakup attempt occurs. Nice tag work here by Owens into the package pile driver. Brainbuster combination. Shades of Steen Erico. We hardly knew ye. Kevin Steen, obviously, now known as Kevin Owens, and El Generico retiring to run that orphanage in Mexico. At the 5-minute mark, Angelo Dawkins, after suffering that vicious tag team maneuver, wisely tagging back into Montez Ford. Now the more agile, sort of speed-based wrestlers in the ring. Had a bit of the power force, or strength force, I forget what they call it in DC. Now we're seeing a bit of the speed force, half of these combinations. Nice double drop kick there by the former tag champs. Out comes Owens to the other side of the ring. No countouts or disqualifications outside of the GWA ring. This fracas will continue until the legal fighters return. There is nothing Mr. Bigfoot can do but enjoy the spectacle, just as you and I are, in our state-of-the-art facilities here, in front of 65,000 strong. Let me just round up real quick. As you can see, broadcasting internationally tonight. Take your pick as to who you think I am at all those tables. Things finally settling back down into a proper tag match. Rollins pulling Montez Ford back to his feet, but Ford trying to fight to his corner. Likely in search of a tag to Dawkins. Rollins, meanwhile, trying to tag Owens and cannot prevent the tag. They're trying to get a tag on their side before the Profits can tag up as well. But now Kevin Owens representing himself and Seth in there with one half of the Street Profits. The larger half of the two. Angelo Dawkins now sending Owens to the floor. So Ford and Dawkins can apply a little double team. Nice double drop kick to the chest of Owens there. Rollins over to help. Beautifully executed powerbomb on the floor. Hang on. Oh, now that signature combination offense, this time to Montez Ford. Both members of the Street Profits feeling that one in this matchup. Montez Ford, unfortunately, on the floor. Very little padding for that package pile driver brainbuster combo. Owens playing a bit of cat and mouse there, trying to perhaps lure the illegal opponent back into the ring. Dear gracious me, that will do it. Hang on. We got to get medical attention out here. Angelo Dawkins was just stunned outside of the ring and his jaw may have been broken. We can't see his face from here, and folks at home, that is for the best. Premature end to this one, but a victory for Owens and Rollins. We speculated how the GWA roster was going to follow that fantastic effort in our opening contest. Owens almost killing his opponent. Let's just immediately stop that match. Get medical attention there for Angelo Dawkins. I hope they heal up soon. Knocked smooth out outside the ring there before this thing can get out of third gear. All right, off we go though. Don't fret, because we got some gold on the line following that. I mean, that significantly hurt our average rating, but that's okay. I mean, it dropped it like 11 points because we were obviously overall a Hundy going into that. But we can bounce back. There is tons of talent, and that's just some storyline, baby. Ford might be looking for some revenge after that. Okay. Becky Lynch won a 6-person number 1 contenders match, one of our sort of strange bedfellow trios matches where the winner gets the ultimate prize of number 1 contendership. Becky Lynch has done so, and so has set up the following Legends Junior title match. Fairly new champion, Kyle O'Reilly, putting the belt on the line against Becky Lynch. Both of these contenders, primary finisher is an armbar variation. Kyle O'Reilly calling his Armageddon. Becky Lynch, of course, with the disarmor. Let's save the match and get on down to the ring for our first title fight of the night. The first of 6 belts on the line this evening. Kyle O'Reilly, the GWA Legends Junior Champion, against the man of Becky Lynch. Get myself out of the way, turn things over to the creature on feature, Mr. Bigfoot, signaling for the bell, and we are underway. Becky Lynch, the challenger in white and red. Kyle O'Reilly, the Legends Junior Champion, in black, gold, and white, representing, of course, the Heat Business, who have a big matchup later tonight as they are fighting for entry into next week's Trios Tournament of Terrors, our annual October event here in the GWA, where there is a lot on the line. I don't know if we even have enough time, unless they cash in November or December. We have very little time for the winners of that tournament next week to cash in their title shot opportunities. So expect to see those in the coming weeks as well, as we round out the second generation of the GWA. Because at the end of the 9th year here, we are going to put a pause on our GWA Fire Promoter gameplay, and I think we're switching over to WWE 2K22 for a while. Perhaps we'll just continue our My Rise season for now, and continue further the exploits of one Dan Wright I Am. You can see the creation and sort of early career of Dan Wright I Am on our YouTube channel. The information for which is available on our Twitch page here. If you're watching us on the Twitch, if you're checking us out on the YouTube VOD, you already know that it's there. Becky Lynch dragging the champion Kyle O'Reilly center of the ring. Becky Lynch, not a stranger to gold in the GWA by any stretch of the imagination. A former multi-time World Junior champion, looking to add the Legends Junior title to her already impressive singles resume here in the GWA, coming off of a hot feud with Emi Sakura, is Becky Lynch, and then earning her way into this title opportunity here. Two submission experts putting it all on the line. Hang on. Excellent leverage on that pin attempt by Kyle O'Reilly, scoring him a 2 count at the 5-minute mark here. Plenty in the gas tank of both champion and challenger, I would suspect. Hang on. Another solid 2 count after O'Reilly received the DDT in that case. Becky Lynch might want to find a way to get a little win back. Hang on. Kyle O'Reilly trying to end this thing early with these knockout shots. Going for broke is Kyle O'Reilly. Beautiful elevation on that belly-to-belly overhead, and that is it. The Armageddon from Kyle O'Reilly here. As we said, both of these competitors favoring the armbar as their finishing touch to their opponents here. Oh, just a straight kick to the side of the jaw there by Kyle O'Reilly. Now Becky Lynch got a bit of a mountain to climb. Got some work to do to get back into this one. Kyle O'Reilly enjoying the fruits of his labors in the opening 8 minutes of this so far. Got the contender on the ropes, figuratively, if not literally, depending on his ring positioning. Hang on, nice roll-up attempt by Becky. Just a 1 count, but the crowd appreciates it. And she still has some fight left. Kyle O'Reilly now unintentionally doing a bit of a sportsman-like thing there, throwing Becky Lynch out of the ring to allow her the time to catch her breath. Becky Lynch instead infuriated by that act, electing to rejoin the fight almost immediately. I don't think that is going to play well for the challenger, as you can see Kyle O'Reilly continuing the assault. Gotta call him like I see him, folks. Hang on, another quick roll-up attempt. Becky Lynch playing possum. I don't know for how much longer she can afford to do so. Sweep the leg, O'Reilly. Oh, into the Regalplex, but too close to the rope. Shout out to William Regal, Kyle O'Reilly's stablemate in the Heat business. We'll see Regal, Bobby Lashley, and stable leader Eddie Guerrero in trios activity later tonight, with a spot in the Trios Tournament of Terror on the line. What an axe tip combination from O'Reilly, who climbs to the top. Oh, a knee to the back of Becky Lynch's head. This has been all champion. Becky now just grabs a hold, gets to the center of the ring, trying to regroup here. O'Reilly easily dodges that strike, but we've got a tit-for-tat battle going. Oh, Becky Lynch able to absorb that. Vicious clothesline, hit one of her own, into the disarmer.
Give up. Give up.
Becky Lynch's turn to attack the arm of Kyle O'Reilly. Follows it up with a exploder, drags him away from the ropes. Once again, back to the feet. Becky trying to pour it on here. Kyle O'Reilly trying to finish Becky off before she can really get back into this contest. O'Reilly getting a little time for himself where he can. Back to another vicious combination of strikes goes O'Reilly, and then grabs the arm, and that will do it. Armageddon has come to Becky Lynch, and Kyle O'Reilly successfully defends the Legends Junior Championship. More than game was your Legends Junior Champion, and the gold stays with the Heat business. Pa-poom. Pa-poom. Okay, 90%. That's about where we are at average now, I would suspect then. Ba-doop. All right, here's our first Trios Eliminator, as we're going to see the Heartbreakers versus the House of Misery in Trios activity. And the winning team, their stable gets representation in the Trios Tournament of Terror, and the losing team, SOL. Not this year. We're trying to limit the number of stables that we have on display in the Trios tournament, and we're going to try to fill it with more makeshift teams, essentially, with a focus on those that have really never been in the tournament before, because this is going to be the last one. So I'm going to go through my big match list here that has like the entire history of the GWA, at least the second generation of it, and I'm going to check to see who has been in every tournament. And those people will have the least chance to get back in, with the exception, of course, of our reigning champions, the Squared Circle K, who have earned themselves a slot in the tournament because they must defend their titles in the tournament. And also, I must point out, are like the dominant stable when it comes to the annual tournament. Winning it, I want to say, 4 out of the 5 times it's been offered, or it's happened. Okada is a 3-time champion. Yeah, it's happened 5 times, and Okada and Keith Lee have won it 3 times. Kairi Sane has been part of the winning trio twice, and the first time that the Squared Circle K won it, the inaugural winners, they were headed by Keiji Muto at the time, so he's also a 1-time winner. And then they've won it twice under the leadership of Okada, with the exact same combination of Okada, Keith Lee, and Kairi Sane, I should say. So absolutely dominating the Trios Tournament of Terror, so that they are definitely in it. And we're going to find out one of the 2 stables that is going to join them, not necessarily the 3 members that are going to be on the team next week, but one of these 2 stables will be eliminated from contention following this matchup. Here we go. As the let me get this right again. Yeah, the Heartbreakers of Flamita, the Monster Abyss, and the bad guy, Scott Hall, are taking on the House of Misery, represented by the Human Suplex Machine, Taz, the Gladiator, Mike Awesome, and the stable's leader, Raven. Let's get down to the ring. Hiya! And a second, equally as impressive, hiya! Mr. Bigfoot calling for the bell. Flamita starting things for the Heartbreakers in the blue camouflage gear and mask. Taz representing the House of Misery in the black and orange singlet. No nonsense Taz. All power Mike Awesome, and lots of nonsense Raven, making up the House of Misery contingent here. And the Heartbreakers, we're going to see the leader of the Heartbreakers, as we see a quick tag amongst them. Great leg extension by Abyss. Surprising agility from the big man there in that Enziguri Gaman Giri combination. And wisely, Taz taking out to the member of his team that can match Abyss power for power, size for size, though Mike Awesome is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting in that regard, as Scott Hall is also across the ring from him, and he is also a beefy, beefy boy. But they probably want to match up the Monster and the Gladiator as often as they can in this one. If the House of Misery is going to hope to sneak out a win, as we see our first look at Raven, usually hangs out on the apron until at least the 10-minute mark of these things, knows what's on the line tonight. A coveted spot in the Trios Tournament of Terror. Everybody's last chance to win that tournament. A tournament that guarantees all 3 members of the winning team title shots at any gold in the GWA for a calendar year until the next tournament. Now, knowing that at the conclusion of the December Year 9 show, we are shuttering the second generation of the GWA, that leaves November and December following the tournament to cash in these title shots. So expect them to happen in a flourish once the dust settles on the Tournament of Terror next week. Big things coming as we have some 10-match supercards headed your way all the way through the end of GWA's run, with obviously the exception. Hang on! Outsider's Edge coming by Scott Hall, right in the corner of the House of Misery, bouncing Raven off the turnbuckles. More of an attitude move there, more of a statement made by Scott Hall, knowing that Taz and Mike Awesome would quickly enter the ring. Just trying to inflict maximum damage and humiliation to Raven there, who has to tag out to Awesome after that vicious powerbomb into the turnbuckles from Scott Hall. Just trying to put over the Trios tournament, which is the only time we won't have a 10-match card. It'll be 7, as it is a single elimination 8-team Trios tournament. Beautifully executed. Great elevation on that brainbuster. Jackknife pin attempt, and Flamita knows for sure if he did not help Scott Hall out of that one, it was over in a hurry. Tag made out to Abyss, who surveys the crowd, perhaps asking for suggestions as what to do to Mike Awesome. Big diving clothesline from the monster. Lures Awesome over to the ropes, but elects to slam him toward the ring as opposed to the floor outside. Thank heaven for small mercies if you're Mike Awesome there. Countering a powerbomb attempt, an awesome bomb attempt, is the monster. Unable to stop that pile driver, however. Into the jackknife pin goes Awesome. I don't know how wise this is given his ring positioning. As you can see, Abyss's Heartbreaker partners there knew he was going to kick out well before the count of 3. Does so at a leisurely 2. In comes Taz for the House of Misery, and wisely we've sent Abyss to the floor. No countouts, no DQs outside the ring, and I gotta believe that that favors the House of Misery more so than it does the Heartbreakers here. As we are in the House of Misery's corner, all 6 athletes brawling on the floor now. A lot of steel chairs coming into play, as you saw Awesome just battering the back of Scott Hall there. Able to reply with a tandem powerbomb. Oh gosh, Flamita with an impressive double knee backbreaker there to Raven, I just saw. Choke slam onto the chairs, down goes Taz. Much to the chagrin of House of Misery. Actually, I was gonna say, the Heartbreakers are owning them on the steel chair front, but they seem to be going back and forth. Seems to be pretty evenly distributed, the amount of metal in each of these teams' diets, shall we say. Hall back into the ring quick, sailing for something in that corner, so keep an eye on that. Scott Hall sailing for perhaps an avalanche version of the Outsider's Edge. Not that he didn't just deliver one to Mike Awesome on the ring apron. Awesome back inside, able to get Abyss up. You can see Mr. Bigfoot pleading with Flamita and Raven. Perhaps try to restore some order here. I'm sure he's trying to get in Raven's ear more than his Flamita's in that case. As things are finally settling back down. Tag out to Raven, tag out to Flamita. It had been Abyss and Taz before all that. Raven effective Flamita! Wrong side of the ring though. He's gonna try the pin anyway. Is the leader of the House of Misery. Broken up at 1. Now just trading strikes with Flamita. Those overhand chops, so vicious. Discus Lariat from Raven, settling that strike battle for the moment. Hang on, Muscle Buster into the Orange Crush by Flamita. Raven just rolls the shoulder. Excellent defense being played there by Hall and Abyss to help Flamita out. But Raven somehow, someway able to get that shoulder up. As we are headed toward the 20-minute mark of this Trios activity. Winning team gets a spot in the Trios Tournament of Terror. losing trio eliminated from that contention. Can virtually forget about their title prospects for the remainder of the duration of the GWA. Some scintillating offense there from Flamita, but again, wrong part of town. And Raven able to be saved by his House of Misery cohorts. In comes Scott Hall for the Heartbreakers. In comes Taz. Oh! Raven effect on the chair to Scott Hall! Taz trying to capitalize. Small package. Oh, Scott Hall just gets out. Taz hoping he was dazed enough after that Raven effect. Scott Hall says no. Sack of crap fall away slam. Taz hanging onto the bottom rope to stay inside the ring. Now these two men slugging it out. Discus lariat by Hall drops Taz. Choke slam. Pulled immediately back to his feet for a second one. Powerbomb or pile driver attempt there by Taz, stuffed by Scott Hall, who is all over the human suplex machine. But again, wrong part of town if he's going for a pin. Oh, outsider edge into the ropes goes Taz. Sack of crap fall away into the center of the ring. Smartly done by Hall. Tag out to Abyss. Taz desperately scrambles to get Mike Awesome involved in this matchup. And it's leveled with a shock treatment on the way out. Taz back to his feet, but Days will keep an eye on that situation. He's got a heck of a recovery to go through on the apron if he wants to contribute to his team's victory here. Awesome for the House of Misery. The Monster Abyss for the Heartbreakers. Hang on. Powerbomb attempt stuffed by Abyss. Center of the ring, these two behemoths slugging it out. Pile driver by Awesome. Off the ropes. Huge clothesline. Drops the elbow. Trying to set him up for an Awesome bomb, no doubt. But Abyss with the impressive Gorilla Press slam. Butterfly suplex, but that plays into Abyss's favor there, getting him closer to his corner. Heartbreakers in Team Blue, or excuse me, in the blue corner. House of Misery, Team Red tonight here in the red corner. Raven doesn't give a hoot about the fans as he sends Abyss to the floor, trying to keep Hall and Flamita at bay so Taz and Awesome can go to work on Abyss. Raven effective Flamita. Oh, meanwhile, I just saw Abyss end over end on that German suplex. Scott Hall with a sack of crap. Follow-away slam sends Raven to the floor, and now all 6 competitors once again outside the ring. What a brawl tonight. We have another scheduled trios match later in the card with the identical stakes. Winning team, their stable represented in the tournament. Losing team, no chance. Da-da-da-da. No chance in hell are they winning the tourney. Another shock treatment, this time to Raven on the chairs. I saw a choke slam there to Taz as well. Raven effect in response to Abyss. Some heavy-duty offense on the floor, but none of it amounts to a hill of beans until you can roll the legal combatants back inside. The only place a pinfall or a tap-out can be registered. Mr. Bigfoot as powerless as you or I to stop the action. You just have to wait that decency eventually prevails, and this thing once again resembles a tag team match. Tables upturn here as outside the ring, Taz is on his own against Scott Hall and Abyss. Oh, hang on. Awesome and Raven sending Flamita outside. And once again, all 6 gentlemen on the floor. Rake of the eyes. Into a double powerbomb there for Flamita. Abyss momentarily sent back into the ring. Oh, head and arm Tazplex there. Or perhaps the Taz Mission Plex. Chicken wing. Let's say chicken wing Tazplex. Big powerbomb there from Abyss. Approaching the 30-minute mark in this trios match. A lot on the line here. Oh, capture suplex, looking like an outsider's edge, headed Mike Awesome's way, nailed him. Immediately pulled back to his feet. No rest for the weary here. As we have got to get this sorted out. I long ago lost track of who was the legal fighter, but so long as Mr. Bigfoot knows, as soon as they get back into the ring, he can settle this down, send everyone back to their respective corners. Another outsider's edge, this time to Raven. Oh, meanwhile, I believe Abyss was locked in the Taz mission on the floor. As we just passed the 30-minute mark, you just heard the announcement. Hall back in the ring. Flamita in the ring. Raven in the ring. Not for long. Out goes Hall again. The combination we're looking for, apparently not Raven and Flamita. Springboard into the roll-up. No dice. Raven was legal. Abyss was legal. Now it's Taz and Flamita. As things finally settle back down, 31 minutes plus into this trio's action. Oh, that vicious overhand chop of Flamita's does as much damage as it does wake his opponent up. Oh, just whips him down to the canvas, just Taz. Looking to capitalize, but can't. Into the backbreaker goes Flamita, but Taz powers his way back to his feet first. Flamita stops the pile driver attempt. Sends Taz off the ropes. Tilt to roll back to that midsection, back to that backbreaker. Oh, spinning kick, side of the jaw. Sending Taz back out to the floor as once again, this thing's gonna break down. Hall and Abyss trying to work over Taz on the floor. Flamita trying to keep Awesome and Raven at bay. Double powerbomb headed Taz's way. Scott Hall in to help out Flamita. Meanwhile, Taz trying to fight his way back into the ring. Cross faces across the jaw of the Monster Abyss. Taz trying to make Abyss pay. Make him think twice about attacking him on the floor. Meanwhile, in the ring, Outsider's Edge coming up to Mike Awesome. Raven and Flamita bump heads, but that could work out in Taz's favor here. No. Taz, I don't think aware of the damage done to Mike Awesome in the ring. Tags him in. In comes Scott Hall. What a wild one we got for you tonight here. As once again, Awesome sending Hall to the floor. Wrong part of town to do that. Hall quickly back inside, but not before a couple of shots were had by Flamita and Abyss. Ugh, just body him to the canvas. Outsider's Edge upcoming once again. Planting him, drags him away from the ropes, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Scott Hall with a decisive fall. And the House of Misery eliminated from tournament competition. All right, the Heartbreakers move on. Let me write that down. Some combination thereof made it to next month's tournament. Pa-poom! Okay, so I'll just write down Heartbreakers. I mean, I have to put the Squared Circle K team in. Like, I just have to. Because they need to defend their belts, so I'll write them there. And then let's do the Heartbreakers in this spot. And then the third... Yeah, the third team we will have yet to determine. Okay, let me jot this down. So that was Scott Hall over Mike Awesome. Another disappointing loss for Mike Awesome. He's been on a bit of a skid since dropping that singles contest to Stan Hansen that angered Ravens. So, okay. Oh, what percentage did they get? 95. Good stuff. Thanks, guys. Okay. Now, this would be the last match I would offer. If this were a real show, this would be the last match I would offer before break, because we had some fairly lengthy ones. We had that quicker Becky Lynch, the quicker Rollins Owens match that ended with that sort of injury angle, if you want to call it that. And now we got some more gold on the line. halfway through the show after this one. Mitsuharu Misawa, the reigning and defending Noah Heavyweights champion, also known as the GHC Championship in real life, is taking on Stan the Lariat Hansen. Here we go. Nothing more to say than that. Elbows versus clotheslines. Mr. Bigfoot in charge as always. Bell rings. Let's ding-a-ding-ding-dong. A go. Nice double underhook for that early belly-to-belly variation out of Misawa. Now, the creation of Stan Hansen is like peak All Japan Stan Hansen. The Misawa is more of a, I don't want to call it a career retrospective. It's more of his Noah moveset, I would say. So it's like prime Misawa, not his All Japan days where he was dominating in the late 90s, but in the early aughts when he was also dominating Pro Wrestling Noah and adding a few moves to his arsenal, let's say. So two gentlemen, different primes, but in their prime, going tete-a-tete for Noah's greatest championship. Misawa has a litany of ways, a laundry list of things he can do to you to put you away. Chief among them, the precision elbow strikes he has used to knock out many a foe. Stan Hansen is more of a hit them with everything you have because he can't very well see what's going on sort of athlete. Misawa trying to combine both power and precision in his strikes. We'll see which prevails tonight with the championship on the line as you see an excellent rapid-fire combination of elbows out of champion Misawa there. Stan Hansen been on an impressive run in their brief tenure here in the GWA, catching the eye of Mitsuharu Misawa, granting him this title opportunity here for the Noah Championship. Both men center of the ring. Misawa taking it back to the floor here with a Boston Crab attempt at the 5-minute mark that does not last particularly long. Neither gentleman able to sustain any sort of offensive combinations or momentum for very long. Still back and forth in the opening few minutes here. Want to try to at least hold your own, especially against a talent the caliber of a Misawa. Hang on. Nice powerbomb counter there out of the head scissor takeover attempt by Misawa. Results in a 2 count for Stan Hansen. Ooh, and a bit of mistiming there from the lariat. Thought he may have been going for his trademark move early on in this one. Nice extension on that drop kick into the backflip by Misawa there. Hang on. Pile driver, center of the ring by Hansen. Taking off the kid gloves against the GHC champion. Able to dodge that elbow and turn him inside out with a lariat. Two. Just a 2. That standing lariat from Hansen there. Rocking the champion, and he knows it. Waits for Misawa to stand. Oh, into a backdrop. Misawa had him scouted all the way across the ring. Oh, turns him inside out. 1, 2. Misawa at 2. Now that Hansen has hit a couple of those lariats on Misawa, now that Misawa has been able to strike Hansen with a few of those elbows, I feel the taste of blood is in both competitors' mouths. I feel that's going to make the fight even better. Misawa trying to set Hansen up in the corner here. Hansen having none of it. Big powerbomb folds him over. 2. No! Misawa on those powerful legs, able to kick Hansen off. Reversed off the ropes. Spinebuster by Hansen. Thought he'd been thinking lariat, big football tackle now. He's going to wait for Misawa to stand. For another, pile driver, jumping variety this time. Extra torque on it. Misawa firing back with those elbows. And that wrist clutch, able to duck a clothesline attempt, trying to capitalize as Misawa. Off the ropes he comes. Diving clothesline of his own, but Hansen's up first. Oh, he turns him end over end. 1, 2. No! Misawa once again escapes. Oh, drilled again. 1, 2, 3. Stan Hansen wins the GHC Championship, knocking Misawa stiff. Well, that was a beefy strike battle like I thought it would be. I didn't know it would only last that long, but what a roll Stan Hansen continues to be on here in the GWA, dethroning Mitsuharu Misawa. We've got a new Noah champion. Belt stays with the GWA, but we have a new Noah champion. It's Stan the Lariat Hansen. Look for him to start defending that title against other members of the GWA roster that, might been in All Japan at some point in time. Maybe. Anyway. Boom! We got a new champion crowned after the head pickup lariat. Interesting variety there. Just kind of leveled him with it. Got him off the ropes, and then just standing lariat, flipped him end over end twice in a row, and that would do it. Speaking of going end over end, we come back from what would be a scheduled intermission with the Ring of Honor Junior Heavyweight title on the line. A lot of flippity-doo-dahs in this one from both Will Ospreay and challenger Ray Horace. Ray Horace trying to bring the belt back to Ring of Honor. Will Ospreay also the New Japan Pro Wrestling World Champion, aka the IWGP or International Wrestling Grand Prix Heavyweight Champion. That's what the belt in real life is called. That is at the top of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Currently also holding that belt, but not defending that title. Defending instead the Ring of Honor Junior Championship against Ring of Honor's own Ray Horace. Obviously carpooled here with Shane Taylor. Let's go ahead and save this one more time and get down to the ring for another title fight. That's oh so right. As for always, your referee on record, Mr. Bigfoot, calling for the bell. The masked gentleman in the it's not really a sky blue, in the like blue gray, in the blue, gold, and black. Ray Horace, the challenger, the champion, in what I'm assuming is some throwback attire, because I haven't seen him with his hair colored purpley, or indeed in purple and orange, in quite some time, if ever, is Ring of Honor Junior Champion Will Ospreay, who, as we also said, holds the IWGP Championship for New Japan, defending one of his lesser titles here in the GWA. Didn't feel the GWA fan base was worthy of an IWGP title defense. His words, not mine. But instead we contracted Ray Horace, since we already had Shane Taylor coming in from Ring of Honor. So we got Ray Horace hooked up with a title opportunity and a chance to bring the junior title back to Ring of Honor proper before this wrestling universe completely disappears after December's show. Only a few more months of existence left for this life. Thank you, Kate, for reminding me to take a sip of water. Delicious. Delicious. Quick pin attempt there by Ray Horace, unfortunately yielding a no count on Will Ospreay, who in his real life career has since packed on a good 20 pounds of muscle, has upgraded himself from a light heavyweight, or a junior heavyweight, I guess, into more of a light heavyweight or regular heavyweight. He's certainly in the heavyweight ranks in New Japan at the moment, as he is their heavyweight champion. But since he is a junior athlete in this Fire Pro game, he's eligible to win the junior titles, and thus he's defending the Ring of Honors here tonight as Ray Horace looks dead into her eyes on that one count. Oh, that's right. That was my intermission, was to get a drink. Fair enough, fair enough. I did kind of roll straight into match 6. Shooting star press off the top by Ospreay, but again, too close to the ropes. The eagle eye of Mr. Bigfoot saying no dice on that pin attempt. Oh, one-legged drop kick. Off the ropes goes Horace. Hook of the near leg. Still only getting a 1 as Ospreay is getting ready to springboard here. Phenomenally placed forearm. But he gets rolled up. Just for one. Excellent instincts by Horace, but it might just be instincts at this point. As Will Ospreay is putting on a display. Horace just getting out of that one as well. Underhooked into the Stormbreaker goes the Ring of Honor Junior Champion. This should do it. 1, 2. No, he gets out at 2. Will Ospreay incensed. Hits the super kick. Now waiting for Horace to stand into the Os Cutter off the top. 1, 2. No, he's out again. Ray Horace with the run-up enziguri. Got to fight for all he's worth here. Ospreay's been able to hit a lot of his heavy-duty offense in this one. Oh, nice counter there by Horace. Spin kick to the midsection that time. Eats an enziguri, however. Ospreay's got to be thinking knockout shot with every major move. Horace has got to find some way to level the playing field here. Trying to back Ospreay into the corner. Oh, but it does not work out. Horace getting that snap suplex into the turnbuckle. Gets rolled up, and that will do it. Simple and effective from Will Ospreay. Horace not his equal tonight. Successful defense of the Ring of Honor Junior Championship in just about 10 minutes. Ugh. Not a great effort from Will Ospreay. I mean, he won and all, but it seems like he reluctantly worked the show and was just like, I'm gonna give him house show Will Ospreay instead of Tokyo Dome Will Ospreay. Well, Will Ospreay, that's how you don't get booked back, is not putting on good matches. But that's okay. You at least defended your title. Pa-poom, pa-poom, pa-poom. All right, let's get through here. As long as we are 80 and above on our overall card rating score, it will be considered a rousing success. No one will have stormed the gates demanding refunds. Look at you, Kate. And we'll be all right. All right, next up, we have the second of 2 trios matches. Winning trio. Yeah, Ospreay absolutely phoned that match in. You're not wrong, Felly. Absolutely phoned that in. Okay, so we have the Black Moon Fight Club, represented by Sting, the Black Moon Fight Club's leader, Kevin Blackwood, and Bison Smith, who is freshly one half of our tag team champions. We're giving Luna the month off here to recover from some neck issues, against William Regal, Bobby Lashley, and Eddie Guerrero of the Heat Business. So it's Black Moon Fight Club versus Heat Business in a trios match. Again, winning team has a spot in the trios Tournament of Terror. Losing team does not. So for a spot of the tournament, it's the Black Moon Fight Club versus the Heat Business. Right about meow. As always, the referee on record, Mr. Bigfoot, signaling for the bell, and we are underway. Kevin Blackwood in the long black and white tights, representing the Black Moon Fight Club, in there with William Regal in the black and gold, representing the Heat Business. And there you can see William Regal's tag team partners, Bobby Lashley, closest to the rampway, and then around the turnbuckle from him, Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero, the leader of the Heat Business. Would love the opportunity to wrestle for the World Championship. Has been a Hall of Fame champion, has Eddie Guerrero, as has Bobby Lashley. Neither man climbing the ranks to the World Championship. Would love the opportunity to do so. And that starts by qualifying for the Trios Tournament of Terror. As you see, a tag now made to Bison Smith, one half of the GWA Tag Team Champions, with partner Luna Vachon, winning a Contenders Tournament, and then some say upsetting then champions Shawn Michaels and Scott Hall. Quite the challenge, but they were met by Bison Smith and Luna Vachon. Luna has been dealing with neck issues for the entirety of the tournament and still hung in there. Contributed enough to help her team win those tag team championships. And Luna, we wish her a speedy recovery, taking some time off to heal up that neck, perhaps in anticipation of entry into next month's tournament, but that requires Bison Smith and co. to defeat the Heat Business, and that's a bit of a tall order. Not the best matchup, Lashley versus Bison Smith, I would think. Power to power, sure. I might even give the edge to Bison Smith in that regard, but the sheer MMA and varied ground game experience from a Bobby Lashley certainly puts him head and shoulders above Bison Smith from a pure wrestling standpoint.
5 minutes gone.
As we pass the 5-minute mark here, in comes William Regal, once again representing the Heat Business in the ring, and now we get our first look at the leader of the Black Moon Fight Club. Oh my God, it's Sting. Still hanging and banging. 60 years plus. Not in the industry, just life on Earth. Probably 35 then in the business, I would think. Like late 80s, mid-late 80s when he would start training, first getting it together. Like by the time 1990 hits, he's the guy in WCW. Like he's already beaten Flair for the title and such. So that is a long time on top for the Stinger. Never not been a main event caliber guy since the early 90s. Good for him. And now holding his own on the floor alone against Eddie and William Regal. His partner is now trying to blindside Bobby Lashley in the ring while Sting's trying to fend for himself outside the ring. Blackwood now with a heel lock on Regal as he snuck out there to help out Sting. Bison and Lashley paired off inside. Everyone's well aware that there are no countouts or disqualifications outside the GWA ring. Very smartly wrestled situation here. Able to have action inside, outside the ring at no advantage to either party. We can sort of continue the, multi-person fracas. At least for the time being. Bobby Lashley back in. Just surveying the damage. In comes Sting. Before we get restored to order, Eddie Guerrero just got hit with a bicentennial on the floor onto a chair.
10 minutes gone.
As we pass the 10-minute mark here, the submission expert on the Black Moon Fight Club side of things, Kevin Blackwood in there now with William Regal. Those are the two legal fighters. This thing's quick to settle down, thank goodness. And this match can continue as scheduled as a trios matchup and not as a wild brawl outside the ring. Saw a lot of that in the other trios matchup earlier tonight. You can see some of the damage left over here. Chunks of wood. Those are broken bits of ring that we've had to replace throughout the evening. The impact of some of these moves and the sheer immensity of some of the talent in the ring, Mr. Bigfoot included. We have a lot of extra boards under there that need be replaced over the course of an evening of GWA action and can be used as weapons once you're outside the ring. Anything that's under the ring is fair game to pull out and start swinging away. As now Bison Smith is able to back Lashley into his corner for a quick 1 count. No one coming to his aid or to Bobby Lashley's aid in that instance. Lashley able to tag up to Heat Business leader Eddie Guerrero, himself also a former Hall of Fame champion, as is Bobby Lashley. Looking for their chance for one night of glory to lead them to guaranteed title opportunities that I would have to think whomever earns them is going to cash in before the league itself dissolves after the December Year 9 show. Should they be physically able to compete, that is, because the Trios Tournament of Terror has been known to take its toll on every team involved. Whether you last and have to endure 3 matches on your way to victory, or you are eliminated the first round, no one in that tournament comes out the same as they went in. As we see a bicentennial now on Lashley from Bison Smith, that's his finish. Imagine a Styles Clash, but delivered by a 300-pounder crashing down on top of you. All that added impact from a Bison Smith, who with Sting is trying to keep Bobby Lashley at base center of the ring. Nice assist there from Blackwood, tagging out to Black Moon Fight Club leader Sting. In comes William Regal for the heat business. Sting starting to feel himself, but Regal cuts him off. Nice drop kick by the Stinger. Simple and effective sleeper hold center of the ring. That draws the attention of all the other participants. Thankfully for Regal, his friends are there to break him up. Nice exploder there to Sting. Now Regal trying to lay in some uppercuts. Sting trying to keep him at bay with some shots of his own. Nicely done by the Icon to win that strike battle for now. Then maneuver his way around William Regal to get Bison Smith tagged back in fresh. Out goes William Regal to the floor. Sting and Blackwood follow him out. Bison at the mercy of Lashley and Eddie in the ring. Back into that sleeper goes Sting. Just trying to choke the life out of William Regal on the floor and then perhaps pour him back into the ring for Bison to cover. Bison doing his best to try to keep both Lashley and Eddie at bay. Oh, dominator by Bobby Lashley. That's not going to help Bison Smith. Not one little bit. As we have passed the 20-minute mark in this trios matchup, and Eddie's going up top. Missed the drop kick, bit of miscommunication there from Lashley and Eddie. But still damage being done to Bison Smith in the ring. Outside the ring, William Regal having a heck of a time. It might finally be getting the better of. And yet I spoke too soon. The better of Blackwood and Sting out there. As we just saw Blackwood hit a nice cutter. Now some double team offense outside the ring after some double team offense was perpetrated inside the ring as well. Bison Smith and Regal still legal here. And finally things settle back down. In comes Eddie Guerrero and Bison Smith able to make the tag. Now the two leaders of their respective factions, Sting for the Black Moon Fight Club and Eddie Guerrero for the Heat Business, are your legal fighters in this one. And up to the top rope goes Sting. Avalanche Black Tiger Bomb by Guerrero, and Bison Smith saves the matchup. High impact immediately into the pin cover by Guerrero. That would have been the end of Sting. Thankfully, Bison Smith there to break that up. Action continues center of the ring. Guerrero trying to position Sting just so for that frog splash. Sting looking for that Scorpion Death drop or perhaps the Scorpion Death lock. Either or. And if Guerrero isn't feeling froggy, he can always tap you out with the lasso from El Paso. Smart tag out to Bobby Lashley. Speaking of submission stylings, that hurt lock full Nelson variation is absolutely devastating in the hands of a Bobby Lashley. Quite literally in the hands of a Bobby Lashley. Hang on! Scorpion Deathlock immediately taps Bobby Lashley. William Regal couldn't get into the ring fast enough to save his partner. And Sting and the Black Moon Fight Club are moving on. And the Heat Business is out of business. Heck yeah. Whoa. Okay, Black Moon Fight Club entered. Lashley taps to the Deathlock. Woo! Okay. Let me just write that down. So, Black Moon Fight Club. Okay, so the three stables of our five that we represented in the Trios Tournament of Terror. Obviously, the Scourge Circle K, because they have to defend their belts. And then the Heartbreakers get to put a trios in there, and now the Black Moon Fight Club get to put a trios in there. The other five teams, as best I can, will be comprised of people that have never been in the Trios Tournament of Terror before. Trios Tournament of Terror 6. Anyway, the sixth and final. We have our final stable entry, as we now know the Black Moon Fight Club takes that spot. All right, And that leads into our triple main event, all title fights from here on out. And I'm crossing my fingers because I've noticed that the attendance has stayed exactly the same. So I'm crossing my fingers we can keep that going as we present the following flurry of activity as we start with the GWA Hall of Fame Championship on the line. Champion Ahmed Johnson, the Pearl River Powerhouse, defending the title against the #1 contender as earned by winning a #1 contendership trios matchup earlier in his career, probably last week or the week before. Hangman Adam Page, going to see if he can bring his cowboy-ish to the Hall of Fame Championship, or if Ahmed Johnson can overpower the Hangman. Let's get down to the ring and see how this championship opportunity checks out. Hiya! As always, the creature on feature, the senior official, Mr. Bigfoot, calling for the bell. And we are underway. The Hall of Fame champion, Ahmed Johnson, primarily attired in red, facing the challenge of Hangman Adam Page in the long tights. Black, silver, and white seem to be more the color scheme of Page's gear. In there, like we said, the mostly red with a bit of black trim to the attire of an Ahmed Johnson. Bit of size discrepancy between the two as well. Ahmed Johnson, obviously the broader of the two gentlemen, going to be bringing his power game to this championship contest. Hangman's going to have to do his best to outthink and outlast the big man if he has any chance of claiming the Hall of Fame championship in his GWA career here. Adam Page, a former one-time Hall of Fame champion in the early days of the GWA, winning the championship from, get this, Hollywood Jack Howard. That's how long ago the GWA Hall of Fame championship was in Adam Page's possession. Jack Howard bringing the title to the GWA by defeating Batista, and Adam Page, the man who unseated Jack Howard to become the second champion in the GWA existence of the Hall of Fame championship belt, looking to once again get back on top against Ahmed Johnson, who is in the midst of his first reign as Hall of Fame champion. We're going to see another first reign potentially come to an end as Kurt Angle in our main event is putting the GWA World title on the line against a former champion, Kazuchika Okada, who climbed all the way from the bottom of the card to the top to eventually make their way to the World Championship plateau. They were unseated by Mitsuharu Misawa to begin his second reign on top of the GWA. There are a lot of turmoil since then. Jay White from New Japan held the belt. Sting unseating Jay White. Kurt Angle unseating Singh. A lot of hot potato with the world title, to be quite honest. Okada hoping to be the calming influence in the world title situation by winning the belt and holding it until the end of GWA's existence. Kurt Angle trying to cement himself as the final champion of the GWA's run, with a win in our main event still to come later tonight. That is after this Hall of Fame championship match. And oh, did we mention Shawn Michaels against Bret the Hitman Hart for the DDT championship is up next. Nice short arm clothesline there by your Hall of Fame champ Ahmed Johnson. Tells the crowd he's got things well in hand here. Effective punch combination. Nice drop of the meaty leg of one Ahmed Johnson, who's going to be looking for that Pearl River plunge, his variation of the Tiger Driver. But hang on, buckshot lariat by the Hangman. Oh, Ahmed just escapes. Mr. Bigfoot in perfect position to begin that count immediately, and still Ahmed Johnson just rolls the shoulder after that vicious buckshot lariat from the Hangman. Hangman Adam Page still has the Deadeye in his arsenal to bust out. At any point he could click R3 and drop Ahmed Johnson square in his head, or perhaps set him up for a second buckshot lariat. But Ahmed Johnson going to the top, unfamiliar territory for the champion, but lands that vicious clothesline off the top to the back of the head of Page. Page now getting set up in the corner by the champion. Tied to the tree of woe by Ahmed Johnson, who's just going to kick him in the midsection. And now try to gorilla press him outside the ring. No, slams him toward the center of the ring and into the press pin. Almost puts Hangman down. Hangman looking for the right angle here. Small package roll up by Ahmed Johnson. Almost seals the deal, but we fight on. Turned inside out by Page with that lariat off the ropes for a second time. Forearm shot by Hangman. Double underhook into the butterfly suplex, but Johnson's back to his feet. Suplex slam by the Hall of Fame champion. Oh, Michinoku driver by Ahmed Johnson. Pump kick to the face of Hangman. Hangman trying to get back in charge. Trying to set Ahmed Johnson up just so. Vicious headbutt from the champ. Center of the ring once again. Misses the pump kick. Hits that punch to the midsection. Drops him with the Uranagi. The toll of these power moves got to be racking the body. The pain got to be racking the body of Hangman Adam Page. Ahmed Johnson needing to catch his breath. It's taken a lot out of the champion as well here. A spirited Hall of Fame contest. And it's not over yet. As once again, Hangman Adam Page tied up in the tree of woe, and Ahmed Johnson just wailing on the midsection of the Hangman, and then retreats to the center of the ring to catch his breath. Underhook, another butterfly suplex by Page. Definitely got to be playing the stamina and agility game as Hangman Adam Page versus Ahmed Johnson's pure power. Nice release German there by Hangman, staying in this and staying in this, just chipping away at the champion as best he can. Trading moves back and forth now. Nice shot to the back of the head by Page, trying to set Ahmed Johnson up in the corner perhaps. He needs to get him into that turnbuckle position if he wants to initiate the... Nicely done, Ushigoroshi. If he's trying to initiate the buckshot lariat, he needs him in the corner. Follow-away slam by Hangman. Once again, trying to position Ahmed Johnson just so. Keep him away from the ropes. It's been all Page here for a little bit. Doesn't quite think he has enough to go for a pin attempt, though, does Hangman. Continuing to punish the Hall of Fame champion. This could come back to bite him. As you see Ahmed Johnson just grab a hold. Sends Hangman Adam Page across the ropes and into the corner. Reversed by Page into a butterfly suplex. 2 in a row goes the Hangman. Trying to set Ahmed Johnson up. Bowls the big man over. Another suplex slam by Ahmed Johnson doing his part, staying in this contest as well. Could go either way as we approach the 20-minute mark of this one. Both men have landed a lot of clubbing blows, a lot of major shots. Speaking of, Owens 316 from Hangman Adam Page. Forearm shiver off the ropes now. I am amazed he didn't go for a cover after that pile driver variation. Spinebuster by Johnson. Nice backdrop suplex there by the Hall of Fame champion. There it is! Page clicking R3! Hits him with the dead eye! Got him! Hangman Adam Page, the new Hall of Fame champion! Clicked R3, wore him down like we thought. Took a lot out of him, as you can tell. Look at him sucking wind in his celebration. 99%. And we got a new Hall of Fame champion. Yeah, Rocco, thanks for the woo, buddy. Oh, I didn't even think of that. I got a new tablet today that's like 10 inches. I'm currently still staring at my tiny 7-inch, my old Google Nexus. Here, maybe I can hold it up. This is what I read chat on, an old Google Nexus 7 tablet. that I have sticking half out of a drawer on my computer desk that I just have balanced in a way where I'm trying to keep it in my eye line as best I can. Anyway. Boom! New Hall of Fame champion. New Hall of Fame champion. A two-time champion. The 19th Hall of Fame champion in our company's history. And the second reign, as we said, for Hangman Adam Page, knocking off Ahmed Johnson in a tough one. Okay. 2. Good stuff. Oh, the 19th champion. There we go. Wowza. All right. We got 2 more matches headed your way. First up, the DDT Championship on the line. When Shawn Michaels, the leader of the Heartbreakers, who have earned themselves a berth in the Trios Tournament of Terror 6 next week. The icing on the cake for Shawn Michaels, as is his motivation for his entire GWA career, is to ruin Bret Hart's good time. So the icing on the cake for Shawn Michaels here would be to defeat Bret Hart for the DDT Championship. Let's see if he is up to the task in our semi-main event. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, one-on-one for the DDT heavyweight title. Let's get on down to the ring. Yeah, I heard that a part of Kenny coming back is that they're gonna, or Kenny is due back soon, Rocco, and the trios titles might soon make their way. It kind of makes sense. Like, but I only want, and this is just me, I only want AEW trios titles if there is no gender limitation. If it can be a 3 wrestlers composed of whatever can contend for those trios titles. You know what I mean? It's not just for the fellas. It's not just for the ladies. It's for all points in between. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be the most fun way to do a trios title in AEW. Because then you could have like Statlander and Cassidy and like Trent perhaps win it at some point. You know, or you could have like Jade and her 2 baddies pick it up at some point. You could have like all 3 members of Death Triangle have it at some point. Yeah, like anybody, like any 3 wrestlers. There is no division. It's just open weight, open gender, open concept, blah blah blah. Just any 3. That's probably not how they're going to do it. I'm just saying, like, if I were that company, that's how I would do a trios title, to be like, yep, this is a wrestling is for everyone belt. Oh my gosh, that does not feel nice for Shawn Michaels there. The ring post figure 4, shades of Bret Hart's heel run in 1997 there out of the Hitman. You can see the animosity running deep between these two. A more apropos fight forever chant would not be uttered in a professional wrestling match than betwixt Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, who shall never see eye to eye when across the ring from one another. And that is not a lazy-eye joke about Shawn Michaels in his later years. As we see an application of the sharpshooter on the floor. Again, no countouts, no DQs. This thing devolving into a brawl before we can really get a match started. We're 5 minutes into this thing, and we've barely been in the ring. 1 count off a body slam, says Shawn Michaels. These two are doing as much jaw-jacking as they are fighting in this one. The eternal flame of hatred burns brightly between the Heartbreak Kid and the Hitman. And we're proud to be bringing you the latest installment for the DDT Championship here in a GWA ring. As Bret Hart once again locks on the sharpshooter.
Give up.
A confident champion, to say the least, is Bret Hart, who has been mowing down the competition since winning this DDT Championship belt. Shawn Michaels doing anything he can to get back into this one. Nice roll-up attempt here by the Heartbreak Kid. Only a 1 count. And into a pile driver goes Bret Hart. Nice backbreaker by the Hitman. Rake of the eyes. Does not dissuade him. Perhaps cleaned the eyes off. did Shawn Michaels there. That may have helped Brett.
Give up.
Oh, I would have thought that would have been a rope break, but somehow, some way, Shawn Michaels able to position himself between Bret Hart and the ropes on that figure 4 attempt. Bret had to power out himself into the inverted atomic drop. Tucks the head for the DDT. Right back to work on the leg goes the Hitman. That slightly up-tempo and yet methodical pace, a rather deliberate pace, let's say, by the Hitman. Certainly a ring general. Both of these gentlemen love to control the tempo of their matches. Shawn Michaels will try to outwork you, try to work faster than you can, try to tire his opponents out, try to take their wind away by just, like I said, just outworking them. It's out-athleting them in many respects. Whereas Bret Hart, a bit of a slower pace to his matches, but can still absolutely keep up. Will break down his opponent one limb at a time, as you can see him continually going back to those legs. Hang on. See, Michaels not able to get a ton of leverage on these pin attempts because of the repeated damage done to the legs by the Hitman. Body press off the ropes. Got him just like that. Michaels didn't have enough strength to kick out. Look at the smirk on the face of the Hitman. Easily dispatching of Shawn Michaels in defense of his DDT championship. My word. That was a disappointing showing from Shawn Michaels, for sure. But that's okay. Let's see. Championship retained. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. And let's just check. We're still at 87 overall. Like I said, 80 and up, you get the same satisfactory results. There's like no difference. Even if I were to get 100% as a card average, it's not going to suddenly give me more money. That's just 80% and up. That's it. That's all we needed. Yeah, after all that, Shawn Michaels just can't ruin the momentum of the Hitman, who handles him in defense of his DDT title. And now, it's the big one. The one we've been booking, or that has been booked like months in advance in terms of this wrestling universe, weeks in advance in terms of how long Okada has been sitting on this title opportunity, as he is cashing in right before next week's Trios Tournament of Terror, where he must defend his Trios belt along with Keith Lee and Kairi Sane. He is cashing in to face the world champion, Kurt Angle, one-on-one for that coveted title. The GWA World Heavyweight title on the line in your main event, headed your way imminently. Almost now-ish. Okay, now. And who better to referee this momentous occasion than the guy who referees all of the matches here in the GWA, Mr. Bigfoot. Calls for the bell, and your main event is underway. Kurt Angle, your GWA World Heavyweight Champion in the red, white, and blue singlet. Kazuchika Okada, the leader of the Squared Circle K, tonight's challenger in the gold shorts, gold boots, is going to look to make it rain on Kurt Angle, his version of the ripcord clothesline. Kurt Angle, of course, has the angle slam and ankle lock he uses to put his opponents away. If Okada is looking to go submission, he has that red ink cravat variation he's been known to finish opponents with. But I don't know that you would want to go submission for submission with the one-time Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle, your current GWA World Champion. We know for a fact that Kazuchika Okada will be captaining a squad in next month's highly dangerous Trios Tournament of Terror. We know that as defending champions, he and his partners Keith Lee and Kairi Sane have influence on the rule set of the yearly tournament. We also know that for the past couple of years, Kairi Sane has been MVP of that tournament, with rules favoring her submission-style offense that has come to the forefront, especially every October, particularly in these tournaments of Terror. She is currently our reigning junior champion, cashing in her opportunity some months ago here in anticipation of the trios turning. And there's the Rainmaker we were talking about. The ripcord clothesline. Into the cover goes Okada. Oh, but Angle rolls the shoulder. Tries to slow things down with a sleeper. Does the world champion Kurt Angle in a big bad way after getting hit with that Rainmaker. Angle to try to turn things back in his favor. Okada going up top. Drops a big elbow and into the cover. Two. Angle out again. Okada looking to capitalize. Unconcerned with match quality are the Rainmaker and Kurt Angle. Solely focused on damaging, punishing, and defeating one another are your world champion and challenger. Off the ropes, Angle is sent once more. Big boot to the face there by Okada. Roll through by Angle into a roll-up attempt. Just gets one. You do not want to give up back control to Okada. That's where he hits that ripcord lariat. His vicious Rainmaker has knocked out many an opponent. Angle able to fend off any offense from that position in that instance. Gets dropped with an STO. Angle would be wise to try to bring this thing back to the ground if he's able. Nicely done. Now just dragging Okada to the center of the ring. Well away from the ropes in case he has an opportunity to apply a submission. As you see here, nice hammerlock by the champ. Trying to take the arms away from Kazuchika Okada and render that Rainmaker clothesline ineffective. There's that cravat variation, the red ink we were talking about. Into a spinning tombstone, normally a setup for the Rainmaker. Okada signaling to the crowd that this could be it. Into the Rainmaker! 1, 2, no, Angle out at 2. Able to float over as the world champ. Rolling Germans from Kurt Angle. Too close to the ropes. Okada back to his feet immediately, waiting for Kurt to stand. Angle sends Okada to the floor. Plays a little bit for the audience, but smartly catches his breast center of the ring as best he can. Low Angle into the bridge. Angle shoulders are down, and he got him. Okada surprised him with a German, and we've got a new world champ. Whoa, out of nowhere. The low bridge. Not a great match. Whatever. It did what it needed to do. And we got a new world champ, Okada. 2-time champion. Man, I'm glad we had a... Man, if we did not have those people come in, if shout out to Shane Taylor and Larry D for setting a standard that the rest of the card could not live up to, but at least we got a couple of good ones in there that balanced us out to be somewhere in the mid-80s for this show. Kind of all over the place. Either the matches were phenomenal or they were just okay. Yeah, so we got 86. See, look at that. 6-3-3-1-3. Some people left. It was like 6-3-4-6-1 or 1-6 or whatever before. Some people pieced out after that. That's too bad. Anyway, we did a good rating overall, and that's all we were really after in this one. So let's see the fallout. Yep. Okay. Oh yes. Let me update my text file before I go any further. Okada, once again GWA champion, the 14th champion in our company's history, the second reign for Kazuchika Okada, one of only two-time champions in the company's history, and that means that going into the Trios Tournament of Terror, 2 out of the 3 members of the Trios champions, the Squared Circle K, successfully cashed in to win a title leading into the tournament. So not only is Kazuchika Okada, Keith Lee, and Kairi Sane, not only are they Trios champions putting those belts on the line in next week's tournament, Okada just won the world title, and Kairi Sane is your world junior champion. So they are riding high, and if they win next week's tournament, they could essentially take the last 2 shows off guaranteeing them they would leave the GWA as the outgoing champions. That'd be a real heel move of theirs, but they could potentially do it. Boom, 3 singles titles, half the belts changing hands in that one. There is no such thing as a bigger venue. This is the biggest arena we can use in the game. Okay. Bad Luck Fale and Jay White are the New Japan Tag Team Champions. We got new AAA Tag Team Champions, Vikingo and Superfly. Oh, Nakajima is the new Noah Jr. Champion because we have the heavyweight belt. And we managed to make almost $1.3 million on that one. I'm assuming that means we sold a fair bit of merch. Okay, GCW is doing a singles tournament. I don't know how they have less than 8 wrestlers. Maybe they just have 8 and they're all involved. There it is, year 9, October. Hayabusa released from the hospital. Unfortunately, not going to help him this month. I mean, he has an extra month to get better because his House of Misery not qualified for the upcoming tournament. And what better way? Oh no. See, this is what happens. Raven doesn't qualify for the final Trios Tournament of Terror, and that's it. He's had enough. He retires, leaving the foundation, or leaving the stable in disarray. The House of Misery bidding farewell to its leader. Oh dear. All right, I'm gonna keep the House of Misery up. Let's see. Hayabusa's back. I'm rapidly adjusting my text file. We now have 49 roster members, 29 heavyweights, 20 juniors. Okay, I gotta get a heavyweight to come lead the House of Misery, I guess. Farewell, Raven. The network gave us an offer to broadcast our product. It starts when our current contract expires. Always nice to know what our next meal is coming from. Let's take a look at this. I think our current broadcast deal lasts until, like, it'll expire after. But if I fire somebody, I could get out of our current deal and then do this one. We'll try that. Oh, that's not great. Nope. That's terrible. All right, they found Lindsay Dorado in Latin America. Big Swole from AEW wants to come in. Sorry, it's tournament month. No outsiders this time. Last year, we had a contingent of former GWA roster members, and they almost set the tournament upside down. Okay, we're gonna save that. Wow, I can't believe Raven retired. We're gonna have to hire a replacement for Raven. I mean, we kind of don't, to be perfectly honest, because we're winding down. His stable didn't qualify for the tourney, which is kind of a big thing. We can just kind of not. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about any personal advice. I'm not going to worry about anybody's salaries at the moment or their stats. I do need to check out what the NXT got up to. As we see, okay, so it's going to be an NXT versus GWA show here. Jessamine Duke losing to John Moxley. That's a win for us. Britt and Omega versus Ciampa and Parka. So Britt and Omega, that's another win for us. Io Shirai losing to Jushin Liger. That's a win for us. Shane Thorne losing to Rey Fenix is a win for us. Kenta Kobashi defeating Ember Moon is a win for us. Suzuki beating Kaden Carter is good for us. Statlander beating Catanzaro is another plus for us. Punk beats Robert Stone. That's us again. Bullock beats Grimes. Hiromu Takahashi's team beats Kishida's team. That's us. And then in the main event for the Junior Tag Team Champions, it was a draw. So in the 10 matches prior to that were NXT versus GWA.
It's fun being different if you have a healthy attitude.
Yeah. So the 10 matches that were GWA versus NXT, we swept them 10-0. And then they had an NXT match in the main event and couldn't even determine a winner. So 22,000 people saw my guys whoop their butts. That's nice. Thanks. That's in addition to the 65,000 that were just watching our show. So that's 80,000 eyeballs in stands watching the GWA stars. That's good stuff. Okay, I'm not going to worry about anybody's salary. I'm going to do my normal training center maintenance. You like? Don't apologize. I put them in because I like them too. That's like my favorite part of the Teen Wolf intro. It's a good line, like it just means. And the Judge Fudge one is fun too. Also, probably the only like family-friendly clip from Drawn Together I could possibly use. Everything else would be like TOS for sure. Okay, how'd we do merch-wise? Not bad. Oh, blew out a lot of more stuff. Okay, about half of those. Got all those. Got all those. Did all the figures. Did most of those. Did all the photos. And did about half of these. That's not bad. So I don't have to make any. I don't have to make any of these. I'll make some of this. I'll make these ones because they're cheap. I'll do a small run. I'll do like a 3,000 run of action figures. All right. For the Trios Tournament of Terror that we're running next week. For this week, we done did it. We done did doing it. We done did it. It done did dude. It got didded. It done got didded, and we done do it. And now that we done did it, it done got did. Done. So I can hit this fancified button. And thank everybody for watching. No matter where or when you happen to be, I'm wishing everybody chill vibes and clear skies. And if you find yourself in possession of a plethora of positive energy, please share it if you can spare it. And don't forget about your old pal, the Silent G, Rad Gnarly, saying so long for now. And Rocco, since you're already here... Oh, I can't do drops from here. I have the wrong setup. If you do Judge Fudge, it'll do it on this screen too. It's any cam with me. Anytime I'm in this frame, those video things can go over top. I don't have them currently linked here, so I can't drop them from where I am. But just throwing that out there. Anywho. We're going to be back on the air Friday evening at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. In fact, some of the members of the audience are going to be participating in that. I personally plan to be setting up lights and fences in Ark Survival Evolved. That's how I'm going to try to light up our new area for us. Let's go ahead and find somebody to spread a little love to on our way out of here. Oh, there we go. Let's go say hi to them. Yeah, Dino Time tomorrow night. Can't wait. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Hopefully see you tomorrow night for Dino Time. If not, thanks for spending the time with me you did. Take care for now. Ta-ta!